Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hold on, let me just make sure you can hear me first. But, yep. Welcome. Service is feel free to sit around. Today, we're going to be going over many things, but many of the same things. Many of the same things. First, Tush Push. Well, let's go over what's most important to everyone, the mock draft. And draft notes. After this, obviously, the NFL Combine was this past weekend. And I wish my hair was performing as well as some of the Combine players did. Hold on. Does this show? Okay, it looks like I might have to get... Okay. Okay. Well, that's muted. Hold on one sec. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Go dark. Okay. So we'll cue that right now, and then we'll go into that. I just want to... Sorry. Okay. So first thing is, I think notable players that had a good weekend. Jackson Dart and Imanawari, who had one of the best safety combines. And Jackson Dart, who had great throws, was talked about positively and talked about positively. Obviously with the comparison of Jalen Hurts. Obviously with the throws he's made. I don't know. I think he may have had one. I don't think he had an overthrow. I don't think so. So I think it was a good draft weekend for him. To be honest with my mock draft, I told you before, I think it was kind of alluding to this. So this kind of helps solidify where I think the mock draft is going to go. Okay, here we go. As you can see, well, I might as well bring it over here. There we go. I'm going to say I have a playlist ready for everyone. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Don't worry, everybody. Where is... You'll see my wonderful face again. Someday. There we go. Here we go. Well, you can toss to see the playlist to your right, my right behind me. So now, more on the Tush Push. I want to give credit to this channel, Engage and Grow, 2,200 subscribers. This NFL War on Tush Push, which, look, I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna talk about the Tush Push as much as I can, because we need to be able to figure out. Again, I don't think there's any bad information coming out about the Tush Push, only that the Green Bay Packers and the Bills, who, funny enough, both have run it. Packers, I think, said they run it in here. Not the Packers, but this channel with the audio says they run it. And then, obviously, the Bills were quoted and, analyzed to have done the second most behind the Philadelphia Eagles. So, a little bit of hypocrisy from Brett Murphy, Gutekunst, Sean McDermott. And again, my points are, as of right now, for against it would be player safety, unfair to the defense, and what else? And weird motion, I guess. So let's begin with the first one. No major reports of major injuries, not hurt injuries, and not even hurt too. I have not seen anything coming out saying that the Tush Push has done that. And again, I can't see chat. Oh, let me say, okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm not seeing any chats about this, so that's why I was just gonna check. But right now, no major injuries, no major differentiating injuries or differentiating hurtness from this play. 2, it's not fair to the defense. Well, you could say this. The whole entire league is not made for defense anymore. I mean, we already set the precedent. I would say this. AJ, and a couple other players too. Obviously, Nick Casario, or how can I say this? Obviously, a lot of people spoken against it. Obviously, Nick Sirianni has had hit head on. Damien Woody. First take, I love the fact that everyone's starting to push back against this. Because, again, nothing with it. But again, addressing the issue that's unfair to the defense. Every play, even running plays now, are unfair to the defense because of leverage, because of tackling, because of where you can hit the quarterback. Everything has been unfair to the defense. This actually might be the best, most equal play in the entire NFL because of the fact that ball is right there. It's the closest they'll ever get. How close are they going to get if they're pass rushing? It's like what's closer? When they do the tush push and they go right at you, or when the quarterback goes backwards to throw a pass, or goes backwards to run the ball, and it's in the running back's hand or quarterback. This is the closest it's ever get to the ball. And I mean, I would like to point this out. Here, funny enough, here are the teams that have stopped the tush push. The Bills last year. The Chiefs, I believe they stopped it one time we faced them. The Commanders, I believe, stopped it. And that was a matchup last year. So, funny enough, last year, I think because the Eagles didn't make the playoffs last year, or they did make the playoffs. They didn't go deep into the playoffs last year. That no one made a little whiny little babies about this. But now, because the Eagles win the Super Bowl, oh, we got to get rid of this play. It's so unfair to the defense. So unfair to the defense, right? Like, let's hire deficiencies. I'm Sean McDermott. We gotta protect the player's health. Even though I ran this play the second most amount, and my defense play calling is so inconsistent and bad that I get that Patrick Mahomes keeps winning against me. Even with Josh Allen. I mean, here's the thing I want to ask everyone. And I'm posting this everywhere. On Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, everywhere. Here's my question to you. When do we start questioning Sean McDermott's head coaching role? When do we consider that? Because right now, his defense this time against the Chiefs, when potentially we're at their weakest, even saying last year, but like last year too. I would say this Chiefs within their weakest because Xavier Worthy, he's gonna get better. But going back to it, and also Travis Kelce's not the same. This is his last season, so potentially they're there. But Bills, your head coach, defensive coordinator, because if you're telling me he's not part of the defense, then he has to get part of that defense because that defense right now cannot win games. Or, like, the games that matter to Bills. And if you're... I mean, come on now. Focusing on this. You put a safety on Travis Kelce by himself on the defense. You put it so that, like, the delay... I mean, come on now. I'm sorry, but really? The defense, Sean, how about this? Leave the tush push alone, even though you like to use it. How about this, Sean? How about this? Second part, I know, because I remember, you got to be consistent now. Sean, put a defense together that can actually help you win the AFC Championship game, win a game that actually matters against the Chiefs. Good job for being in the regular season this year. Good job. How did that help your playoff standings? Did you get the number 1 seed? No. Did you get number 2 seed? No. Did it? I don't know what seed you got, but yes, good. I think it's an AFC Championship game. Good. I would say this. Bills, if that's your goal, you want to get the AFC Championship games and lose the AFC Championship games, then you know what? Congratulations, Bills. You've done it again. You've gotten beat by Patrick Mahomes multiple times in the AFC Championship games when you've gone there, and you've lost to Lamar in the I think this is the wild card. Yeah, I think he did it when he was at your place too, right? This is all based upon memory. But come on now. Oh, come on now. How about this? I'll say this. If I'm Brandon Beane, if I'm Sean McDermott, if I'm Brandon Beane, here's the thing. First off, I'm Brandon Beane. I'm telling Sean, hey, Sean, shut up. Shut up. First off, you need this play, apparently, to give yourself a good chance. Second off, create a defense or plan better so our defense can actually stop Patrick Mahomes. How about that? How about that? I'm calling out Sean McDermott. I'm going to call out Brandon Beane too, because he could have. I can guarantee you this. Brandon Beane and ownership okayed this because if they didn't okay it, Sean McDermott wouldn't be talking about it. They okayed it. So, look, Bills, if you guys want to just go to, if your goal is AFC Championship games and getting there, good. I would certainly hope. I want the Eagles to compete for championships. And, again, if you're focused on this, you do not focus on the stuff that matters. You guys literally are in Kansas City. How did Kansas City get Xavier Worthy? How did they get Patrick Mahomes? In trades with you. Look it up, everyone. Look it up. In trades with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bills have given them Patrick Mahomes, and they've given them Xavier Worthy. Both players who have devastated the Bills over and over and over again in games that matter. Don't talk to me about regular season, because if regular season is what you want Josh Allen to be, is that your expectations of him, and if he's getting the AFC Championship games as expectations for him, then good job, Bills. Good job. You met your goals. Good job. Now, obviously, the Bills are not the only team. It's the Green Bay Packers. The Murphy president, I don't know what he does. Apparently, does he help sign the players? Well, and Gutekunst. Both of these executives, again, have more time focusing on a tush push. By the way, in which they've also run it, as you see in this video. By the way, I just want to point this out. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to show a little bit of the video. Here, I think it's around here. They mentioned it. I'm trying to remember. But I think, they say they've run it. Again, great to this channel. Engage and grow. Please subscribe. And, yeah.
Today.
It does.
With the Green Bay Packers and, their president, Mark Murphy.
Right.
They want it gone.
They do.
What are they saying? What's the main argument here?
Well, Murphy's saying a few things. One, it gives the offense an unfair advantage.
Okay.
Two, it's basically impossible to defend against.
Nope.
And three, he says it just lacks skill.
But doesn't Green Bay do this too?
That's the interesting part.
With their QB sneak.
Exactly. They use a version of it. Their quarterback sneaks, they definitely get that push from behind.
Right.
But it's usually not as aggressive or coordinated as what the Eagles are doing with the tush push. So it makes...
Come on, Green Bay. Come on, Green Bay. Green Bay. Green Bay. Green Bay. Okay, then don't... Okay. Now, how about this? You're not allowed to run a quarterback sneak. You're not allowed to run your quarterback sneak, Green Bay. How about that? How about that? How about that? And look, again, everyone, engage and grow as a channel. NFL war on the Tush push. There should not be a war. And I just point this out. Lacks skill? Well, then why are you complaining about the leverage? Why are you complaining about it gives defenses an unfair advantage then? Because apparently you need skill to be able to push and be, like, because apparently defensive linemen, apparently linebackers don't have talent enough to stop it. You know, like, apparently that's not a good idea. Apparently that's what the Green Bay Packers thought. Apparently that's what they thought. For the specifically the no skill, that's insulting. Cause, and I'll say this: here's what I would say to that. First off, what's the difference between that and quarterback sneak, Green Bay? Because apparently there was for you guys enough. Secondly, all running plays. This is all running plays. It's all about getting to a spot. Running plays, getting to a spot and either trying to get past it for a big run, or getting it past for a big run play, getting it to a spot so you can convert. I mean, jeez, come on now, disingenuous, completely disingenuous. And again, I know like I'm being a dead horse here because this is like continuing with the Tush push. But here's what I would say to that. And my dogs are upset by the fact that the NFL executives are trying to get rid of this. You should not get rid of this. Play. I do find it funny that Green Bay runs a similar type of thing with their quarterback sneak, and apparently that's fine. But apparently, if the Eagles do it in a much better way because we're better, that's the issue. You kidding me? I mean, that's pathetic. And again, I'll say it for the other ones. Gutekunst and Murphy. Well, I'll say this. Roster control, because they have no impact on coaching. So let's just focus on what they can control. I'm going to criticize them for this. Get players that show up in the first quarter. Again, I'm reiterating my points. How about you get players that show up in the first quarter? I heard you're trying to get Devontae Adams. I would certainly hope you do, so you can show up in the first quarter. Because this game you didn't show up in the first quarter at all. Then the second quarter, you show up towards the end of it. I think it's like the third, you really start to show that you can put up, 6 points? It was 22-6. Good job. Your quarterback didn't show up. Your offense didn't show up. I want to give credit to your defense because in this league, I can admit it's unfair. But I want to give credit to your defense. You limited the Eagles to 22 points. No. Actually, I want to take that back. You were in the way enough to stop the Eagles. I think, like, you were doing enough to, like, 22-6. Like, the defense, it could have been 40-6 if the defense wasn't there. It's good, I would say, but I'm trying to show that I'm completely, like, just trying to shit on you. Even though your president and GM probably should get players on offense who can show up in the first quarter. I mean, your offense didn't show up to the game until the third quarter. Come on now. Come on, really? We're really doing this, Green Bay? And for health and safety, that running plays. Then we should ban running plays as a whole. No more running the football anymore. The only way you can run the football is with your quarterback scrambling after the pass play's been called. That's it. Apparently. Because, again, it's just ridiculous. I think this is ridiculous. This anti-tush push agenda is by far some of the dumbest crap I've seen. Good Diet Coke, though. Okay. So, we're done. Well, that's all I can say on the Tush push. I haven't heard of anyone else being against it. Luckily, ESPN people, I've heard every person on TV who's talked about this. First take, no one is anti tush push. Get up, no one's anti tush push. So I think I really hope it does not get passed. It should not get passed. I do appreciate other teams like Nick. I think the Houston Texans, the Bucks, obviously the Eagles. I think who else? I want to give credit to everyone and anyone who is like saying no. You don't have to call out Green Bay and the Bills. I'll happily do that for you. But if you're saying like defending the tush push, which it shouldn't because it's an actual play, then thank you for your service. Thank you. It's much appreciated. But now I want to transition to obviously more recent news. Let's start. I started this before Jackson Dart, and I think this would be a good way to start. Obviously I talked to him before. It's solidified. So where I had him in draft position was the first round pick. He's going to be selected by the Giants. Obviously, I said more of the fact there's Ole Miss connections to Eli Manning. I think they feel like, okay, let's go back to the well that worked last time. He played well in that offense. I can't remember the name. But he was throwing it all over the place. He kind of had him in playoff contention for a bit. I think if he's more consistent, but going back to it, Ole Miss connection, had a great combine. I haven't heard anything negative as of yet. So I think it's actually improved. I feel more confident in the fact that he will be selected by the Giants, like wherever the Giants have the pick. I think third. Yeah, third. The number 3 overall, it's going to be Jackson Dart. Because they want to go with something familiar, quarterback that addresses it. I do think somehow Jameis ends up being the starter in New York, so I am predicting I think they're going to trade for Jameis because I think the Browns might trade for Aaron Rodgers to try to keep Myles Garrett. But that's a lot. Emanuari, great safety. Great safety position. Had a great camp. I think he'll be at the end of the first round, though, if that's it. Like safety, the problem is safety's dependent on the corner play, and that would just dependent upon can't corner play. I would say this: you're not going to take a safety high in the draft. You're either going to take someone who can protect the quarterback, a weapon for the quarterback, a quarterback, or an elite pass rusher. Sadly, I will keep it with the draft still, and then we'll go on to trades. I do have an amendment to my mock draft. As of today, March 4th of 2024, I do have the Raiders and the Browns switching positions, as in switching players, not trading up or down, the player switching. So I think Shador is going to drop to the Raiders, sadly because of this stupid narrative that's going around him. Oh, he's too brash and arrogant. Don't you want your quarterback to be brash and arrogant? Because of the fact, you don't want a quarterback who's going to be like wavering and inconsistent. You want them to have confidence in themselves, arrogance, brashness. Because guess what? If they're not feeling confident, they're not going to be effective. The quarterback position is more about the mental game than possibly any other position, maybe besides kicker. So, if you're telling me a quarterback's brash and arrogant, that's dumb. I think it was unnamed sources too, so I think that's even dumber. I'm not willing to take anything. Here's the thing: with sports only, I want to see what they talk about when they talk about unnamed sources. What I talk about, and then I'll think, okay, is it serious or not? This if you're telling he's brash or arrogant, he has confidence in his abilities, confidence to show up in the game, and I think, look, as a quarterback, I want that. So I think Shador to the Raiders because of that, and I think the Tom Brady connection's gonna be something that's talked about after he's drafted, but not before. The Tom Brady connection. The fact that he can call Tom Brady. So why not have it so ring, 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 ring. Oh, hey, Tom. Oh, hey, Tom. Yeah, I'm in the draft. Why? Or I'm on TV. Why? Something like, oh, we're selecting me with the, oh, hey, this is Tom. Hey, Shador. We're going to be taking you with the 6th overall pick for the Raiders. How do you feel about becoming an Oakland Raider? And he says, awesome. Whatever. I was trying to do a voice because I was trying to sound like different for the clarity of it, but whatever. I do think Shador goes to the Raiders. I think sadly he drops because of this, because it's stupid news, but I don't care. But he's gonna have to have a solid, if not really, really positive pro day. That's what I'm gonna have to see. I'm assuming he's gonna have a great one, but I think this prediction, this half of the prediction relates to him having a great pro day. Next, obviously, I had Cam Ward going to the Raiders just because I thought at the time, hey, we got to deal with Patrick Mahomes, we got to deal with Justin Herbert, Oakland Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers. Wow. Broncos. Bo Nix. Sorry about that. And Bo Nix. We have 3. Well, we have a quarterback going into his 2nd season. To me, I think teams will be more ready for Bo Nix this year. But taking him out only for this year because of the fact he's going to his 2nd year. But looking at this. Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. We want someone to be able to counteract that. That's why I thought Ward to the Raiders there. And I thought the Browns would have taken him before. But obviously, at the inverse, I think Cam Ward's going to go to the Browns. Because, 1, they want to try to fix that quarterback situation. 2, they need a quarterback. I think they're going to need a really talented quarterback to help. I guess it would Cam Ward going to the Browns. I don't think it'll be enough. I think obviously having Aaron Rodgers in my prediction, I think is going to go there along with Devontae Adams. But I think Devontae Adams might be swayed to the Packers, so it might just be Aaron Rodgers going to the Browns, being a solid starter there, and them trying to convince Myles Garrett to stay and seeing how that goes. Do I think it works? I don't. I think because of the fact he's saying it's not money related, it's winning related. And the problem is the surrounding cast around Aaron Rodgers. Let's say it was straight to the Browns. The surrounding cast of Aaron Rodgers and the Browns, Bradley Chubb in the backfield, that's good. But who are your wide receivers? Maybe solid offensive line or low end solid offensive line. I don't know enough about the surrounding cast in the Browns, but we have to. It's trying something at least. And also, I would prefer if someone there who's a solid quarterback, not starting a rookie. You either wait until contention is over with, so that pressure's off them. I don't care if they're ready right away. You want to make sure that you want to put them in a good situation as best you can. And I think that's it. So, in summation, Shador to the Raiders, Cam Ward to the Browns. So, and that's it for NFL Combine time. Now for some trades. Now we talk big news. Deebo Samuel has left. It was traded from the 49ers to the Washington Commanders. This is a good pickup for the Commanders because it's another weapon for Jane Daniels. I think, and the people are saying who won this. I don't really know, to be honest. Here's why. Oh. Hello? Okay. I heard something. Okay. Hello? Okay. Probably, I think my headphones just turned off. I'll just keep it as is. With the Debo's, well, yeah, I can at least hear. Okay. Hold on. Sure, audio. Okay. So, hopefully you're hearing me. For me, at least, it's the reason I'm saying I'm not sure yet is because there's mixed reaction. Because again, I had to see what Deebo Samuel's what they're going to be asking of Deebo in the first place. What are they going to be asking of him? How are they going to treat Deebo? Then I also have to see what the 49ers do with that pick. Then I have to. I don't really know where this. Let's just do the transaction analysis. I think it's 49ers won this. Here's why. If I'm just doing purely transaction right now, 49ers won this because they needed that money off the cap. Well, I'd say actually more thing about Commanders. I mean, Commanders, they got a weapon for a low draft pick. And now but the weapon, here's what. You need to know how to use the weapon is why I kind of wavering. Deebo Samuel's not a, like, Jamar Chase or a, like, he's, like, out to this. He's more known as being a horizontal wide receiver than he is known as a deep threat. I'm just telling you what I've seen more of and how the 49ers used him. They got him off a gave him the ball directly right away and used him and got, like, bubble screens to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him make a play. If that is the plan for the Commanders, they have a good piece. I think I do want to see some, like, with that. Because, again, I do think he's had down years, at least for the last year and a half. I do want to see that. I want to see how they use him. I think if they use him in that same kind of role as the 49ers were doing, then they have a good piece that can at least help to engineer more offense. Like with jet sweeps, bubble screens, short passes that he can turn into long plays. I think that's a great, if that's what they're going to use him for, they have a good piece to do that. I think that, like, you have more depth at the wide receiver position. You have Terry McLaurin. I would put Deebo at number 2. And then I would have, I don't know who else at, like, 3, 4, 5. But it really depends on their offense. It depends on what they're asking him to do. And I hope they have a good game plan for that. I think they're definitely. But if you're telling me if this is they need to make more moves. The Washington Commanders. If they want to go where they want to go, and I'll have my opinion on that in a sec. If they want to go where they want to go, they're going to have to do a lot more transactions. Obviously, draft well to build out this roster. Do they get Myles Garrett? Do they get Max Crosby? Do they get Cooper Kupp? I'm surprised they didn't try to trade for Cooper Kupp. Because he's more of the downfield threat. That fits with Jane Daniels, who can pass the ball well anywhere, or, like, down there. I'm surprised they didn't try to get Cooper Kupp. I mean, it's 29. I think it's like 31 versus 29, which I get NFL-wise that, but to be honest, I'd rather have Cooper Kupp. unless they have a plan for Debo, which is great. I mean, but I think they have to do more. I think if they really will put themselves in a good spot if they get Cooper Kupp. They also have to solve their Jonathan Allen situation because he's requested a trade. So either they need to. I don't know. I just know they requested a trade. Do they do the trade and that affects their depth? Do they not do the trade, give them more money, that affects their cap? I think the most likely thing is they'll probably give him more money and he'll be fine with that. I'm assuming. I have not heard of him saying, "Oh, I don't care about money. I just want to go to like a contender," even though he's on a potential contender. But do they keep Jonathan Allen? Do they, in addition to keeping Jonathan Allen, do they get Myles Garrett? I think they need to do a couple more moves, some more players. Let me see. Running back fine. Like more defensive. I like defensive wise, players. But I think they'll be okay, like roster wise. But I guess it just comes down to this. For me, I'm looking at it from this past year with C.J. Stroud and the other quarterbacks, but I only focus on C.J. Stroud because he had the best rookie season until Jane Daniels came along. Here's why I'm mentioning that, and I don't see any differentiators between the two. They're both great passers. They had great rookie seasons. Obviously, I think Jane Daniels had the best rookie season of all time. Unless Dan Marino won the Super Bowl, then I went to the Super Bowl. Otherwise, it's Jane Daniels. But going back on it, and I'm just saying this from like looking at history, there is something called the sophomore slump, where this year, if we're gonna look at, if you look at Jane Daniels' numbers, his overall passing yards went down, his touchdowns went down, or he only threw three more touchdowns, or had three more touchdowns, had 7 more interceptions, and I think his attempts went down by 1.2. Oh no, not C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud numbers went from rookie season to second season. Overall, passing yards went down. He threw 3 more touchdowns, but also threw 7 more interceptions. His attempts went from 7.2 to 6, or like that negative 1.2 range. So there was kind of like slippage into that form. Obviously, he did the exact same thing as he did last year. Went to the playoffs, won a game, lost the second game, which is great. But if we're comparing to Jane Daniels, first off, the sophomore slump I think is more likely than not, based upon nearly every rookie quarterback having it. I can't really think of one who didn't have it. Then we look at the fact they did have a last place schedule. They had the number 2 overall pick. That's why they got Jane Daniels. They did have a last place schedule, so you have to look at that as well. They're obviously going to have the second best schedule this year because they went to the NFC Championship game and lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, who eventually went on to win the Super Bowl. So they'll have the second best in the division-wise, the second best or second hardest schedule behind the Eagles, who won the Super Bowl. So won Super Bowl 59. I'm going to say this much as I want because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And I don't think I'm being biased here at all because of the fact I'm not looking at anything else. I don't think I'm being biased here at all. But I just want to point that out there. I think it's going to be hard. Next year's going to be harder for him, I think. It wasn't really that much of a difference, but I'm just telling you there was a difference with C.J. Stroud. So I think there's going to be some of a difference. I think having a harder schedule is going to make it harder. Um, uh, so we're just gonna see about that. I think seeing that, I think if I am the Commanders, I'm building out a roster for like contracts or at least 3 years. Because you're going to have this upcoming season, then you're going to have next season, which potentially could be his breakout season, and then, because that's the third year, and then one more season after we possibly go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, or whatever. Um, yeah. But then, that third season for Jane Daniels is going to be key. But I think that obviously he makes some news now because obviously like getting Debo that makes a roster better. I think getting Cooper Kupp makes a roster better. I think getting Myles Garrett definitely makes your roster better. If you can get Max, if you can get, getting those players, let alone getting all of them. Could you imagine if the Commanders get all those players? Getting all those players, but getting those players at least helps your roster. And if you're able to get like a 3-year at least 3-year contract with them, you'll have it so at least like you'll have it through his sophomore slump, which is again not just because of him. It's because of it. It's because of defense coordinators getting used to what he can do, and if you're gonna tell me they won't, tell me about what happened with C.J. Stroud. He did have a slippage, but we also have to appreciate the fact that C.J. Stroud has been able for first 2 seasons going to the playoffs and won a playoff game, and then was able to lost. I think he lost to the Ravens last year, lost to the Chiefs this year. So not disappointing. That's definitely not disappointing. But to ask also Daniels going back to the NFC Championship game next year, that'd be cool to. Well, obviously, I'll be biased in this situation. I don't want that for the Eagles because I want my Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Well, obviously same team. But going back to, I think that's really. Well, I want to finish up this thought. I get there. I think I'll. I think that it's more likely not. Well, I don't know. I think it's upward slump, but I think it could help with that. Obviously, I want the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game to win the NFC Championship game of this year. I would like for that. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. But if the Commanders got there, I think having that experience would definitely help them and make it much more of a challenge. But I think again asking for Jane Daniels to be able to repeat that, I think if he's able to do it, that's a great start of his career. But that's asking a lot, and that's also asking of like the team changing. By the way, the team changing, it has already changed because of Debo coming in, but of that change, being able to do that back to back years, it'd be great to see. I mean, I would be annoyed on obviously because Eagles. Well, would it be? Well, if they made it farther than the Eagles, I'd be annoyed. But that having that start off to a career of going back to back NFC Championship games your first season as a rookie, as your second season as your sophomore, I think that would just be a great start off to a career. But again, going back to it, I think asking that, I don't want to say too much because like I would say it's a lot to ask for, and I think getting that his rookie season fantastic. It's just because I think it's just a lot to ask for. That's the best way I can put it. It's a lot to ask for a rookie quarterback to take you to an NFC Championship game. But we also have to give credit to the defense too. Let's remember they got 4 interceptions off Jared Goff in that divisional round, and they also went to Tampa and did a good job on the Bucks there. So let's give credit to the defense. Let's give credit to everyone. But obviously Jane was passing was great. It's just a lot. it's just a lot. I would like to see it from a fan perspective, but I wouldn't like to see it as an Eagles fan, Philadelphia Eagles fan perspective. I'll say that. But, But, yeah, I guess it's just a lot. So I guess I would say is don't be upset with him or don't be upset with the team if you feel like if they don't make it. If they don't make it back to the NFC Championship in the second year. Because of the fact he did something that is really rare and it's crazy. And good for him for doing it. And I don't really know what else to say. Hoping the best for my birds. Hope they do well. And hope this franchise do well. Obviously, I'm disappointed that we cut James Bradbury and we cut Darius Slay, but I do think, and going to a different thing, I do think that good day, Coke. That it comes back to this phrase that GMs have said. You want to be a year too early than a year too late. Darius Slay is obviously 34. I don't know how old James Bradbury is, but I think he's on the older side as well. In terms of NFL wise, not just overall wise. Obviously, still very young. But I hope the Eagles can find a way to bring him back on a 1-year deal. But to be honest, I think, and this is just me predicting stuff. I think if I am the Detroit Lions, and I said this before, or I said this, I'm going to say this. If I'm the Detroit Lions, the only way Darius Slay is not playing for us is if he's retired. That's what I'm going to put it. The only way Darius Slay is not playing for the Detroit Lions, if I'm the Detroit Lions, is if he decides to retire. That should be it. That should be the only reason. It'd be great union for Detroit. Great reunion for Detroit. He knows how to win a Super Bowl because he won it this year with the Philadelphia Eagles. And they need corners. I think that Carlton Davis is a free agent. I'll get to that in a sec. I just want to finish this up. But I think that's what's going to happen. I would like for him to come back to the Philadelphia Eagles on a new contract. Obviously, it would be like a 1-year, $5 million contract. But I would hope for that. But if Darius Slay doesn't want to do that, that's fine. Thank you. James Bradbury. The same to you because James, you played well enough to help us get there too. So same for you, James. Obviously, you weren't from Detroit or you didn't play for Detroit. You played for the Panthers. I mean, if you want to go back to the Panthers and play on a big deal, that's great. I would obviously like you back as well because of the fact that you're a great corner. You're a great corner. I think to provide leadership and more information, more stable, good corners we have, the better. I think Howie's definitely going to have to address this in the draft. Possibly I prefer like second or first round, but we'll see. Okay. Now, I'll be watching. I'm going to try and get into basketball. I'm not really the most basketball knowing guy or anything. So I'm going to try and get into basketball, try and give some analysis. I'll try to give some tomorrow on the 76ers Timberwolves game tonight. If anyone has any suggestions for other games to watch, obviously the Kyrie Irving is out for the season. That's huge news. But I mean, that's already been reported. So I'll check out some games, try to get some more information on that. And then that's really it. Well, not really yet, but that's it for NBA wise. Now, baseball. Obviously, the big news was Shohei Ohtani with hitting a homer in the spring ball. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani having the comparison with Travis Hunter. Like, Travis Hunter thinking he has the harder job. I guess please comment below, who do you think has it harder? Shohei Ohtani and what he does as a pitcher and a hitter, or Travis Hunter as a corner and wide receiver in the NFL? I think I'm just going to give the edge to Shohei because he's shown he can do it, and he hits a baseball very well. One of the best hitters. And that's the hardest thing to do, is hit a small ball. So, I think that if I'm choosing a side, choosing Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, the Dodgers and the fact that they are collecting all these players like a collector, and all the money that's going in. Obviously, baseball is going to look into it. I will not be surprised if we hear something at the end of this and in October about new cap restrictions because of what the Dodgers have done. Obviously, with the Yankees having some complaints and the Steinbrenners. What I would say that is, I think, here's what I would say. The rules are the rules. If the rules allow you to do it, the rules allow you to do it, then you can do it. If the rules don't allow you to do it, don't allow it. And if you have to make rules, they're doing it, then you make rules. I think baseball will eventually go to a cap because of the fact it's that I think the only way you can collect so many baseball players is if you put an easy mode on what is it, the show 25 on easy mode, and you don't care about picks, and you have endless money and everything. I don't even think some baseball I don't even think some of the show 25 teams could actually do this. I don't think you can do this in the show, the baseball game. So that's just crazy. But again, Dodgers are just taking advantage of a system that allows you to do this. If owners have a problem with it, then do something about it, but you're going to have to wait until after this baseball season. So I think the Dodgers need to capitalize on it and make every single type of... They have to win this year, the championship. So I'm going to pick them to win the World Series. The Dodgers are going to repeat as World Series because they know, and I think everyone should know, hey, this is the last time we're going to be able to do this, so let's go out with a bang. Now we're going to end with a little promotion. Obviously, we have the NFL transactions happening beginning March 12th, which is a week from tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing my NFL transaction special. I wish there was a better name for it. You can't say free agency because trades happen. Technically trades are open now. So I guess free agency special. Let's just do free. It's the NFL free agency special. There we go. Free agency special. And then I'll just go on and talk about... I'm going to go live stream every single day about new transactions. About new trades. And then the NFL draft happening on April 24th. I'm going to be doing a draft special. I'm going to be showing before. Obviously, you're going to see my mock drafts and how they evolve. I'm going to tell you guys about it each time in here. Obviously, we had the Big Jackson Dart solidification, and Shador and Cam Ward. Obviously, Shador going to the Raiders, and Cam Ward going to the Browns. So there are some of the big moves. So we're gonna have a special, hour, before it, somewhat during it, analysis and coverage of it. So please show about it. I'm going to try to promote. I'm going to be promoting it beforehand, obviously through live streams, social media. Why don't you follow me on Twitter at BJAINDL? Has my beautiful face on it. Follow me there. Follow me on on the Move 88 on Instagram. Follow me on Twitch. Ben on Time on Twitch. I'll be live streaming Twitch. But again, all of this will be live. All of this will be live, and I'll be continuing doing that. So please follow us for updates, news, and predictions. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, great rest of your day, and enjoy some games. I don't really know what